Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jawad. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button down below, and right next to it is a bell notification. When I upload my videos, and I know it's been a while since I did upload a video, thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate it. I had a question that I didn't forget about, and what is hirsutism? I had a lady, she wrote in, and again, if you have any questions for topics or questions that you want me to ask, please do. What is hirsutism? And again, hirsutism in a nutshell, it's when you have excessive body hair and or facial hair, and that's really due to an indication of hormone imbalances. So what's happening, you have too much testosterone that's being converted to a more deadlier testosterone called DHT. Thank you for watching. Alright, I got a question from a female viewer. Thank you very much. By the way, if you have any questions, please leave them down below because I'm always looking for topics to talk about. So, what is hirsutism? Hirsutism, especially with females, it's excessive body hair on the body and or facial hair. You'll see a lot of females, sometimes they'll have facial hair as they grow older. And really what it comes down to, that's an indication of hormonal imbalances. Now, males and females, I always call it the 80-20 rule. So men, we have 80% testosterone, 20% estrogen. Females, you have 80% progesterone and estrogen and 20% testosterone. So we do have the same hormones, it's just the ratio is 80-20, for men and females. But when it comes to hirsutism in females, it's an indication of hormone imbalances, which means that you have an increase of androgens, meaning testosterone. You have excessive amounts of testosterone, which converts into DHT, Dihydrotestosterone, which is more of like the deadly. I always say the DHT, for males, it could cause the acne, baldness, increased chances of prostate cancers, BPH. For females, again, that's the deadly hormone. That's what causes hirsutism, possibly for breast tumor, acne, baldness, and that sort. But let's back up a little bit. Cholesterol is good for us. We need cholesterol. Cholesterol provides our body with stabilization. It helps with the immune system, helps with the liver function, helps with inflammation, it helps with hormones. So when it comes to cholesterol, which is produced more in the adrenal glands and the ovaries, because I'm talking about the females, it converts into pregnenolone. Pregnenolone then splits to progesterone, which converts down to cortisol. So I'm just going to write here cortisol, because this plays a big part in the future, cortisol, okay? Cortisol, and it splits also into DHEA. Now DHEA, that converts to testosterone and estrogen. Okay, so the problem is, in males, I'm just going to focus on the male side. We convert testosterone to estrogen. How? An enzyme called aromatase. How do we activate this aromatase? Very simple. We take in too many carbohydrates, which aromatase is very, very sensitive to insulin. So insulin resistance, hence, again, too much carbohydrates and not enough exercise, converts the testosterone to estrogen. And then this is where you get increased chances of prostate cancers, where men get man boobs. This is where men get a little more softer. Now, the thing is, for females, it's the opposite. For females, you have more, remember, you have 80% estrogen and 20% testosterone. So with the estrogen, what happens, that converts with the enzyme 720-lyse and 17-alpha hydrolase, that converts to testosterone, which then will convert to the more deadlier form, DHT. Now, just to review right here, so for men, the deadly thing is testosterone will convert to estrogen. How? Through the enzyme aromatase. Now, in previous videos, you hear me talking about DIM, men taking DIM, cruciferous vegetables, exercise, watch your carbohydrates. Females, the estrogen converts into testosterone. How? The enzyme 1720-lyse and 17-alpha hydrolase. So the key thing is that you want to do your best to inhibit that conversion. Now, the key thing is, whether it be a male to estrogen or a female estrogen to testosterone, if you notice the key component, insulin resistance. Insulin resistance drives that. Excessive carbohydrates, sometimes birth control pills, not enough exercise. So you gotta watch the diet, okay? So I'll let you know more about the mechanism right now. Okay, but before we get into how we're gonna treat it, I always recommend this, suggest this. You didn't get here overnight, so it's going to take some time. So my time reference is usually 6 months to a year, because your body does have to go through a shift of lifestyle in order to get used to the changes being thrown upon it. So be patient, okay? All right, so then what can you do about it? Now, normally, just boys, just like girls, when we're young, we have the highest levels of our hormones, estrogens, progesterones, testosterones, and as we get older, they naturally lower. So as a female, her primary years, she's very high in estrogen, but as she gets older, the levels lower. And then what happens when you have menopause, then they really come down to a low end, and everything that is produced in the ovaries gets shifted up to the adrenal glands. So now, remember, when it comes down to, it's the imbalance of the androgens. Now, with females, what is androgens? Androgens is your hormones, predominantly testosterone. Now, what happens is that you have high androgens, meaning high testosterone, which converts into DHT, Dihydrotestosterone, which is, whether if you're a male or a female, that's deadly. That's deadly. You do not want that conversion. Now, the goal is to inhibit, which means stop, the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which converts testosterone to DHT. So just to backtrack, you have the cholesterol, which is the main building block, going downstream, converts to pregnenolone, goes downstream, produces DHEA, and I'm making it simple, so I don't want anybody coming in the comments and saying, well, you missed this. I know I missed this. I want to make it easy as possible. So DHEA, that splits to testosterone and estrogen. Now with males, remember, too much carbohydrates, too much insulin converts what? Testosterone to estrogen. Females, same thing. Well, actually, I'm sorry, for males, it's the aromatase. For females, too much, key thing is insulin resistance. Too much insulin from sugar, carbohydrates, birth control pills, so forth and so on. What happens? You release a couple enzymes which convert the estrogen back to testosterone, and then 5-alpha reductase converts it to DHT. Now remember, for females, when I'm talking about females, when you have the facial hair, it's due to you're converting your estrogens to testosterone to DHT. So again, here, the cause. Increased production of androgens, predominantly progesterone. But the thing is, when you go for blood work, your serum testosterone may be within normal limits. So this is why when I always work with females, I do a complete female hormonal panel, because I want to know not only the testosterones and the estrogens, the DHEAs, because one level may be normal, but you're still having this excessive hair growth. So remember the cause. The cause is insulin. Insulin resistance. What happens because high levels of insulin, sugar, carbohydrates, birth control pills, so forth, convert the testosterone to dihydrotestosterone in the peripheral tissue, mainly hitting the follicle cell, the hair follicle, which causes growth. So remember, it's the enzyme 5-alpha reductase you want to block. Now remember, for males, when you don't go from testosterone to estrogen, the main enzyme that you're focusing is aromatase. Okay? So why does this happen? 80% of the hirsutism is PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So for females who have PCOS, will typically have this situation as well. But then you got the 20% idiopathic, meaning not knowing, which could be anywhere from thyroid disorders, it could be Cushing's disease, it could be obesity, ovarian tumors, and of course insulin resistance. But whatever the case is, whether if you're looking at the idiopathic or the PCOS, what's the main focus? Your main goal is to what? Control the insulin. So the main goal, balance hormonal levels. Diet. Watch your diet. I always stay away from the typical wheat, gluten, dairy, soy. Soy, okay, that will increase the estrogen. I had a patient of mine who had this hirsutism. And what happened is that she's a vegan. The problem is she was taking so much soy. So yes, let's work with the soy levels. Peanuts and sugar. Exercise. Now, exercise is key regardless, because why? Because the more muscle tone you have in your system, the more insulin receptors is created, so you're able to utilize the glucose, so the chances of being insulin resistance lowers. Balance out the hormones. Because the main goal, again, you want to inhibit the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Diet, exercise is always key, but also to include supplements. Now, I know there's a list of supplements, and this is just my list that I have that I give to my patients. Spearmint tea, 1 to 2 cups daily. What that does, that lowers and stabilizes the androgen levels. It tips that teeter-totter over to the opposite side. In addition to N-acetylcysteine, now NAC. Now, in the media today, you're hearing a lot about NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which converts to glutathione, which helps the immune system. It helps the liver pathway. It boosts a lot of stuff. One major thing too, it helps stabilize the insulin levels. How many milligrams? 1,500 milligrams on an empty stomach. Saw palmetto. Saw palmetto is phenomenal for males too. Remember, for males as well, I recommend saw palmetto to help stabilize the prostate issues. Remember, with males, because you have the aromatase, you want to inhibit that, but also too, you want to inhibit the 5-alpha reductase. Increased levels of DHT will cause prostate issues. For females, it will cause excessive hair growth. Saw palmetto. DIM. DIM is a phenomenal supplement. It's a supplement, but also too, it's found in cruciferous vegetables. Broccolis, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, things like that. I always recommend have a lot of it, because not only that's going to help for males inhibit aromatase, but for females too. It's going to have a phenomenal effect on the estrogen levels. Zinc is not only phenomenal for your immune system, because remember, viruses cannot live in a zinc-enriched environment. Always remember that. But in addition to females, it helps increase your progesterone levels, which will help stabilize the estrogen levels. Okay, 30 milligrams a day is plenty. In addition, reishi mushrooms. Reishi mushrooms are phenomenal, because it not only does it inhibit the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, but in addition to it helps balance out, for females, the stress pathway. We have what's called the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. That is the stress pathway, and oftentimes when you're stressed out, okay, you have increased levels of what? Cortisol. When you have increased levels of cortisol, you bleed out the progesterone, which makes you estrogen dominant. So what your main focus is too is to help stabilize the adrenal pathway, which helps stabilize the cortisol, which will lower the insulin resistance. Okay, so I hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification. If you have any comments, please leave them down below, and if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, include that too. Thanks for watching.